I live in the southern part of California, Orange County to be specific. My dad grew up here before moving in with my mother on the East Coast, and then eventually back to the OC. When he was a young teenager, most of our neighborhood was full of orange groves. He and his friends used to explore in there and smoke weed in them. My dad told me he once had a friend whose name I can't remember, so for the sake of this story, we'll call him Jack. He was the son of a woman named Frances Marie Klug, a religious cult leader who thought she'd been visited by God or Jesus or something. She claimed to be a prophet, and eventually broke away from the Catholic Church to form the Hill of Hope congregation. This woman had a lot of followers. Her son was definitely not one of them, as he would often hang out with my dad in the groves, smoking weed and talking shit about his mother and her followers. Frances, according to my dad, always had these bodyguard-type dudes around her, who, oftentimes, were armed. This made her far scarier than any elderly crazy woman should be. They'd go looking for Jack, forcing him sometimes to hide in the groves. The Hill of Hope eventually created a fort of some kind in Carbon Canyon, fitting because a bunch of creepy as fuck things go on there all the time. At this time, the fort, or compound, was in the process of being built. Jack and his mother had been bumping heads more often, and my dad started to notice that Jack wasn't around as often either. Eventually, he stopped making appearances altogether. Frances Klug eventually up and left with a lover of hers to another country. Some sources say that she returned and eventually died at the hill in '09. But the Hill of Hope is still there in Carbon Canyon, still guarded and still in use, I believe. They're very secretive, and they don't let any outsiders onto the property. My dad swears that Klug had her followers kill her son and hide his body under the cement foundations of the hill. The kid disappeared without a trace. Klug didn't seem fazed, and the cement was laid down shortly afterwards. My dad says it's too much of a coincidence. He never did hear from his friend again. The original poster has included information, an article, and a link to the website of the Hill of Hope. This can all be found in the description below.